Today we're going to be going over two semi-occupied duplexes on the west side of Cleveland. Ryan, this is your video. Let's dive in. For the price, I mean, this is actually a really nice house. A little bit more rough, a little more ragged. It's going to keep those values high. Here's quarter-mile comps. There's $260,000 houses right down the street. You'll be able to put your offer through me, and then after you close, Holton-Wise, we can handle the property management. We'll even be able to help you with the insurance. We have lenders who will write loans for investors in all 50 states. This deal is 100% James Wise approved. James Wise denied. Hey, real estate investors, welcome to another episode of the MLS Search and Analysis Show here on HoltonWiseTV. As always, I am your host, James Wise, and this is the show where I work with you one-on-one. If you ever wondered what it's like working with me one-on-one, this show is the perfect example. And there's three things you got to know about working with me. When you work with me, you're going to get three things. Number one, complete transparency. I try to provide the most transparent experience possible. Number two, and this is something I'm very transparent about, I do not work for free. I never work for free. I require payment. I am here to make money just as you are here to make money, right? You're here because I can help you make money. So if I couldn't make myself money, I wouldn't be very good advocating for you and trying to help you guys make any money. And number three, so long as you are paying me a premium because I am very good at what I do and I require payment for those services, premium payment for those services, I give you guys my all. I give you guys 100% and I try to shoot you straight. I try to be completely transparent and I try to take care of you. Now, the reason I'm saying all that to you, Ryan, is we had a interesting situation. It was a little weird, but, we're just completely transparent about what happens, right? All these properties on the MLS Search and Analysis Show, they are active on the MLS. When I do this show for you guys, I'm not going to charge you to analyze any of the properties that I'm selling. I send all of those out to you guys every single day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our mailing list. That's from the Investment Properties for Sale show. So if you're watching here on YouTube or HoltonWiseTV on HoltonWise.com and you're looking for the properties, but you don't want to pay money to work with me up front, that's totally fine. We provide you guys all the information you need to make a buying decision on every property we're selling. So go to HoltonWise.com, subscribe to that mailing list, and we'll send those shows to you every day at 1. But with the investment properties with the MLS Search and Analysis Show, these are properties where I work for you and for you only. They're listed on the open market, so I don't have any control over who's buying them, who's making offers. It's very competitive. I'm just here advocating for you. And Ryan, you reached out to me. You wanted me to analyze 3401 West 98th for you. You wanted me to do specifically do due diligence on that property for you, along with going out and finding you another one on the MLS. I shot you an email and I said, hey, man, total transparency here. I just got done doing an MLS Search and Analysis Show for another client. I found two properties for him. That was one of them. I already analyzed it for him. I finished the show. It's just in post-editing, and he's going to get it the very next day. This was all just happened, right? And you shot me an email back. You're like, hey, man, that's cool. I appreciate that. Because I said, hey, I don't think I should do this one for you because I don't want to, I can't, I charged him and I sent it to him, and then it would be disingenuous to me to then go ahead and charge you, right? And you're like, hey, man, that's cool. I understand, but I actually already have it under contract. I went to the listing agent directly, and I got it under contract. So you come up with the idea, why don't I just send you the analysis I performed for my other guy? And then I decided that makes the most sense because you already have it under contract. He can't buy it. So I went ahead and told him, hey, man, don't you worry about it. We're going to get you another property. I'm going to do another free property analysis for him. And Ryan, here is the footage that I sent to my other client originally on the property you've already got under contract. It's going to be 3401 3403 West 98th Street, Cleveland, Ohio 44102. This has been on the market for a very long time, 126 days. That is a very long time, and they've listed it at $62,000. We're going to be using that to our advantage to try to get the price down. This is more or less low C-class area, right? It's not the greatest area. So it's high D, low C. I would probably say it's more or less a C minus or so, but we're kind of splitting hairs in between the two. What you're going to deal with in an area like this, you're going to deal with some tenants that are going to give you problems. Like, it's not going to be, you're not going to face like a lot of like college degree tenant based stuff like that. It's lower income folks, but the property is going to do very well for you from a return standpoint, and we can get it for a price that's cheaper than I think it should be because the tenants are currently paying under market rent, which is what you really wanted to target. So what do we got going on here? Currently, right now, each of these tenants is paying $600 a month. So that's going to bring in $1,200 a month or $14,400 a year. And each unit is 3 beds, 1 bath. Now, this is key. This is the big thing here, too. Looking at this layout, okay, what this is a side-by-side duplex. And anybody who watches my content knows that the Cleveland market, we have a huge supply, just a very big, huge supply of duplexes in the area. Very, very common. And what you typically see is up-down duplexes. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with an up-down duplex, but we have a much smaller inventory of side-by-side duplexes like this. And if you ever have the opportunity to buy one or the other, you always want to go with the side-by-side duplex. We can deal with the up-downs, and there's just a ton of them in the market, and that is the market norm. But what an up-down is going to have that a side-by-side isn't going to make you deal with as much is going to be turnover, right? You got people above or below each other. So constant noise turnover, the tenants, they do tend to argue, and this can lead to tenants getting frustrated and moving out prematurely. We want to limit our turnover as much as humanly possible. This is CD class multifamily investing. People messing up the properties on the way out, that's part of the game. That's part of the business, right? Patrick, you said you got a fairly high risk tolerance, so these are things that you're signing up for when you're trying to get properties like this that are going to rent for these amounts and sell for these cheap prices, okay? It's part of the game. But if we could ever reduce or limit our turnover, we want to take actionable steps to do so. And one of those steps is getting a side-by-side because nobody's above or below you. So as far as what we should do from here, because I love side-by-sides, but why is the property not selling, right? They listed it for $62,000. It's been on the market for 126 days. That's a fairly decent price. And even though the current rents, I've already said they're under market, which is nice for us, but it still kicks off a fairly good return. Why hasn't this particular property sold? Well, number one, the particular agent, right? The majority of agents in the Cleveland market, they do this, guys, and this is why you pay the money to work with us. They are not used to dealing with rental property investments, right? They're used to dealing with owner-occupants, and people want to get in. They want to see the inside of the unit. And the way this particular agent was doing their showings, they were having the actual seller themselves meet with potential buyers to go to the property, tour the properties. I'm sure tenants like this, they're giving them shit. It's just a whole nightmare. It's a whole mess, right? The property doesn't show that well. You've seen the pictures. Nothing looks really great. So below market rents, the showing situation, it's very, very difficult. I'm sure the tenants are fighting them every step of the way. You get a lot of people trying to schedule showings and the buyers flake. You add that in conjunction with the fact that there's a buyer who then has to reach out to their buyer's agent, who then has to reach out to the seller's agent, who then has to reach out to the seller, who then has to reach out to the tenants to schedule a showing, and then the buyer flakes and none of it happens. It's just a whole fucking nightmare. It's a whole mess. And that's how you can get properties like this that sit on the market. But that's where I come in. We could find nice diamonds in the rough, and we could take advantage of that. So because it's been on the market so long, they're not having success, and I know we can get those rents up. Maybe a lot of people don't necessarily know that. Perhaps the listing agent doesn't know that because maybe that listing agent deals with a lot of owner-occupied stuff, and maybe a lot of the the folks that are trying to buy this property. Maybe their buyer's agents don't necessarily know that. Because of all that, we're going to take advantage of that, Pat. We're going to take advantage of that. We're going to take advantage of the fact that you got cash, you got a lot of money. You can make it very easy for them. Cosmetically, we don't really care all that much that it's messy. And me and you, we're not trying to shuffle our way in there to look around because, you know, look, man, it's a unit with a tenant. We've seen the pictures. There's really not all that much that we don't know going in. We know for a fact that when these tenants move out, we're going to have to spend a few grand redoing the units. That's just the name of the game. That's how it rolls. So because of all of that, I think we're going to be able to get this property at a nice little discount off of list price. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get this property for you for a price of $55,000. So if we pick this up at $55,000, we bring in the current rent's $1,200 a month. What will that look like? Well, we're going to be spending 60 bones a month on repairs and maintenance, vacancy and not payment of rent, and capital expenditures. Capital expenditures, man, those are the big stuff, right? Roof. They last 30 years. Big-ass duplex like this is probably like an $8,000 roof. Furnaces. We're going to have 2 of them. They last about 30 years. They cost about $3,000 to replace. Hot water tanks. We're going to have 2 of those. They are going to last approximately 15 years, and it costs $1,000 to replace. I guarantee you none of that stuff is new. It shouldn't be new when we do your inspection because you're going to want to make this offer contingent on inspection. The home inspector is probably going to tell you the stuff's past its useful life or very close to it. I highly doubt, based on looking at the photos, that there's going to be a lot of new stuff in there. So that's what we're saving up for, right? You replace one of those big ticket items, and then you're budgeting that $60 a month towards the next time. So you do a roof, right? You're going to be budgeting that. You're not going to have to spend money on the roof for another 30 years, but you're still got a budget because you know in 30 years you'll have to do it again. Taxes, $122 a month. Insurance, $80 a month. Anybody who doesn't already know, I also own a farmer's franchise. So in the show notes below, we got the opportunity for you to get an actual bid on this property or any other properties anyone else out there watching this might have. We will work to lower your bid. But it should be approximately $80 for this one. Water and sewer should run you $150. Lawn care will be $44. We cut grass 16 to 18 times a year here, so the total cost is $528 for the year. Divide that out annually. The monthly rate is going to be $44 a month, and then of course PM is $120. So you're bringing in $1,200. I anticipate on average you should be spending $696 to operate this. Now, you know, some years might be a little leaner than this, right? We got semi-high risk tenant base here, so they may or may not, you know, trash stuff. We may deal with evictions, that kind of shit. That's part of the game. But more or less, if you look at this properties like this over your whole portfolio, should anticipate spending approximately $697 a month, which would bring you an NOI $504 a month or $6,046 a year. If you finance this thing, I know you got cash, but let's just say you were going to finance it. If you wanted to finance it, you'd only have to put down $13,750. Your mortgage would be small, $196. After you pay off that mortgage, you'd be bringing home an average of $308 a month, which would position this at a 26.9% cash-on-cash return. All looks good. But remember, few things that are not accounted for in this chart. Number one, I keep saying we can increase the rents. How much can we increase those rents? Well, because it's side-by-side and it's 3 beds, 1 bath, we should be able to get between $750 and $800 a month in rent. I would like to do that under the Section 8 program. Reason being, tenant base is shaky a little bit over here, right? You know, people don't pay rent, they lose a job, they don't have any savings, we got to evict them, stuff like that, right? So I would like to reduce your turnovers as much as possible. We did that already by getting a nice layout, right? You're in a semi-high risk neighborhood, so you got a house with the very best layout. Remember, there's nothing wrong necessarily with up-downs, but side-by-sides are better. So we have that going for us, and then to reduce our risks even more, we go with Section 8 because the government's guaranteeing the majority of that rent. So we do that, we can get those rents up to $750, $800 a month. Of course, it's not going to be free though, right? You don't just go from $600 to $800 just like that. I would keep these folks in there as long as possible at the current rates because you're making money on the property. No sense rushing in to remove an income stream. But there is going to be natural turnover. Maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 2 years from now, maybe it's 6 months from now. I don't know, but at some point someone's going to move out and you're going to have to pony up probably $5,000 or $6,000 per unit. Big units like that, they didn't look too nice, to be able to get us Section 8 approved and all done out to the max, looking beautiful, so we can hit you with those top of the market rents, $750, $800. Welcome back, Ryan. So as you could see from all that footage that I did for Patrick, my other client, before I knew you had it under contract, I like the deal. It makes sense. You sent me some additional questions, and I believe all of them were answered in that analysis that I had originally done for Pat, except for one question. You had asked me, would it make sense to convert the attic into a fourth bedroom and then do Section 8 on the next turnover? Obviously, we'll give it some TLC next go-around. Do you think we need more in this one? Then the property would be worth to spruce it up to get more rents. In a nutshell, no. I really don't think it makes any sense to do anything with the attics. I think it would probably be cost prohibitive because to get the proper stuff all the way up there, it's just going to cost us a ton of money. We got to run duct work. We got to run electrical. I don't know if the ceiling height was legal ceiling height to be considered an actual legal bedroom by Section 8. And we also don't really have two forms of egress out of that attic. So, no, I think that would be cost prohibitive. I think the best move is to just stick with it how it is as 3 bedrooms. But other than that, man, it's a great deal. And you've already got it under contract. So, in my opinion, you should absolutely move forward with that deal. Hopefully you can get it down in the $55,000 range, but truth be told, if you had to pay list price or just under list price, I still think it's a pretty solid deal for you. So that's definitely approved by me, man. Knock that one out. What I want to do now, I want to go to a short commercial break, and then I'm going to go into the second property I've got for you today.
Over 50% of those living in the greater Memphis area rent their home. This fact, combined with the high price-to-rent ratio, is why Forbes rates Memphis, Tennessee as one of the top real estate investment markets in the country. Memphis Investment Properties and their sister property management company, Reedy & Company Realtors, are among the largest and most trusted turnkey operations in this market. With over 30 years in business, a portfolio consisting of more than 2,700 active rentals, and an impeccable track record renovating over 6,000 single-family homes, it's no surprise they are one of the most reputable turnkey operations in the United States.
All right, Ryan, now let's jump right into the second property that I've got for you. Now, this is one that I went out and I found this for you myself, right? So this is one that just based upon your criteria, I think would work really good for you. 3078 West 105th, Cleveland, Ohio, 44111. Listed at $55,000 by an agent from Keller Williams. It's been on the market 71 days. Because it has been on the market for 71 days, I think we can probably get you a nice little discount. What do we get here? We've got one unit that is totally vacant, and then we got another one that's occupied. The one that is occupied at $550 a month, and then the other one that's vacant, it's kind of a lower end unit. I believe we'll be able to get it to rent for about $600 a month. So that's going to bring our total rental income to $1,150 a month, or $13,800 a year. Looking at the photos, what do you get, right? We got just like, it's not like super high end or anything of that nature, right? It's a D-class neighborhood. Well, I shouldn't say it's a D. I guess it is a D-class neighborhood, but it's very close to nice C. So it's a high D, low C type neighborhood, very similar to the other one. I mean, they're pretty damn close to each other. You're getting more or less a similar experience. We got to do some sprucing to the unit, though, right? Like this carpet. You know, that's not going to work. We got to replace this carpet. As you can see, we got peeling paint all over here, so we're going to have to repaint some of that stuff. The walls seem to be okay, but nothing major, just like some cosmetic overhaul. I don't anticipate us needing to go extremely high-end for this particular neighborhood. Like this Home Depot style, Home Depot Lowe's quality kitchenette is fine. The floor in the kitchen's not really all that bad. We could probably leave that floor. We definitely just want to get rid of the carpet throughout the rest of the unit. This bathroom could definitely use a little bit of love. New fixture here, a little bit of work on the walls, and then we want to reglaze this toilet. Or not the toilet, rather. We want to reglaze this bathtub, get that looking spiffy. So we do all that, just go over, cosmetically improve everything. I think we're going to spend approximately $5,000. Now, with it being on the market for so long. I think we can get it discounted for you. I'd like to make an offer, and my goal would be to achieve you getting this property under contract for $48,000. So if we close it at $48,000 and then you put $5,000 of upfront renovation so we can get that tenant in there paying $600, we should have you all into the deal for $53,000. Doing that, you'll be bringing in $1,150. We're going to account for $57 of repairs and maintenance. $57 we're going to save for the vacancy and not payment of rent because, this is a semi-high-risk neighborhood, so evictions, people, they don't pay rent all the time. That stuff's going to happen. We're going to save another $57 to cover your capital expenditures, right? I don't anticipate this property having a brand-new roof, brand-new furnaces, brand-new hot water tank. As far as costs, duplex like this, that's probably a $6,000 roof. 2 furnaces are going to be $3,000 each. Both furnaces and the roof, the life expectancy is going to be 30 years. You're going to have 2 hot water tanks. Those are going to last you approximately 15 years and cost $1,000 to replace. So you need to account for that because you're not obviously replacing those things very often, right? You're only replacing that stuff very infrequently, but you need to calculate. You need to save for that because it's like clockwork. It's going to happen. You're never going to get 50 years out of a roof. It's just never going to happen. So you got to save for that. Taxes are cheap because it's low-value property, $46 a month. Low-value property, so we should be able to insure it pretty cheaply. Should be approximately $60 a month, as many of you know. I also own a farmer's business. So in the show notes below, you've got the opportunity to click a link to save on your insurance of any of your rental properties. They do not have to be in the Cleveland, Ohio market. We are licensed in most every state. And in addition to that, we're also independently appointed with other insurance carriers, like random obscure insurance carriers. You guys don't see commercials. Like, it's not like Geico, or what the hell's that other one with the little, it's like a bird, the little bird with the guy with the mustache. It's like a 70s cop show. I don't know, whatever insurance provider that is, right? Long story short, these are insurance providers that you guys haven't heard of, and they like specialize in things. So we're able to shop things around and get you guys really good pricing on your rental portfolio. So we should be able to cut your costs. So check us out, check that out. But for now, I think $60 is fair. Water and sewer should be approximately $150, lawn care $44, property management $115. So on average, Ryan, I anticipate you're going to be spending an average of $586 a month to run this property, which is going to put you at an NOI of $564 a month, or $6,762 a year. Going on, if you finance this asset, right, you pay $48,000. You put $5,000 into it, so you're all in for $53,000. That's going to be a 12.76 cap. Your mortgage down payment's going to be $12,000. Small mortgage payment $171 a month. So your total debt service for the year $2,052. Leaving you with an average net cash flow after you pay off your mortgage, $393 a month or $47.10 a year, which should be a 27.7% cash-on-cash return, and that does account for the upfront repair cost of approximately $5,000 to get the other unit spruced up. Now, the downstairs unit, I would say market rent there is probably $600, so you have a little meat on the bone, but you're so close right now with $550 to $600, I don't think it makes any sense to think you're going to immediately turn that tenant over. Of course, at lease renewal, we'll try to get her up, maybe go like $25 or something like that. But there's nothing wrong with taking $550 right now. You got to remember, right? Tenant's been in there a while. You don't want to kick an income stream out just so you can gain an extra $50, right? Why spend like $4 or $5 just to get an extra $50? Don't make any sense. But when that tenant naturally turns over, we'll spruce up that unit and then we'll aim for about $600. I mean, just so you know too, that was like just doing like a minor cosmetic renovation to get you $600 on that upstairs unit. Because I think there's some decent stuff to work with. The kitchen's adequate, right? If you really wanted to and you wanted to go with the premium upgrades and do something really nice, we could probably get the rents up to $675 or so. So when we do make a bid, if you eventually go under contract by this property and we give you your bid, your normal stuff will be about $5K. But if you want to add a few K to that, we can do some premium upgrades in that kitchen and the bath. And we could shoot for a $675, which would be a more stable tenant. But that's your call. It's up to you on how you want to handle that. Just know that in either scenario, it's a semi-risky neighborhood just like the other property, but I think they're both solid deals for you. I think the rent-to-price ratios make sense, and I think they would be good additions to your portfolio. So I know you're working with the listing agent directly on the other property, which is fine. Continue to do that. Now you've got all my knowledge. Hopefully you can get the price down. I know you put a contingency in your offer that I was going to do this analysis, so you can utilize this analysis to get the price down. And I actually know that agent. I've worked with him on several deals, so he's familiar with how I do business. So, if you need to show him some of the stuff I said in this video to justify your position of getting the price down, by all means, go for it. And then for this particular property, the second property, the one on West 105th, we'll go ahead and write that offer for you, and we'll negotiate with the other agent for you on your behalf, so you don't have to do it on your own like you're doing with the other one. And just send my team an email, sales@HoltonWise.com, if you'd like to move forward on that one as well. That's all I've got for you today, Ryan. Everybody else, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I think I've demonstrated for you all that I'm very transparent. Remember, guys, I will give you my all. Every single video, I will do my very best to give you guys as much information as I possibly can to make you the most educated investors possible. But I ain't free. I get a lot of you guys out there trying to email me, trying to get me to do all this work or do these videos for you and run around trying to get you guys all these properties off the market. And some of you guys are a little confused why I charge up front, because, guys, there's a lot of production value that goes into this particular product, right? I spend a lot of money to do the very best product, to get you guys the very best service. So I require premium payment to do so, and I make no apologies for that. And as you've seen from this video, I'm incredibly transparent. I shoot you straight, right? A lot of guys, because I can't control what properties are bought and sold on the open market. So a lot of guys may have just charged both Ryan and Patrick and just analyzed it 2 times. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I wanted to make sure that, both parties were taken care of. I would feel really bad if when Patrick's video came out, he watched it, and then I said, hey, man, before you got the video, it went under contract. It's out on the open market. Nothing I can do about that. And that's very true, and that happens. But then later, if he were to notice that I'm the reason it went off the open market because I analyzed it for somebody else, that's not right, guys. So you guys shoot me straight, I will shoot you straight. Other than that, that's all I've got for you guys today. You want to work with me, go to HoltonWise.com, click on the property search tab, and click on the MLS shows to get your own MLS search and analysis product. As always, I'm James Wise with Holton-Wise, and this is Real Estate Investing Made Easy. For the price, this is actually a really nice house. A little bit more rough, a little more ragged. It's going to keep those values high. Here's quarter-mile comps. There's $260,000 houses right down the street. You'll be able to put your offer through me, and then after you close, Holton-Wise, we can handle the property management. We'll even be able to help you with the insurance. We have lenders who will write loans for investors in all 50 states. This deal is 100% James Wise approved. James Wise denied.
Rentec Direct provides you with an easy-to-use yet robust platform for managing your properties, complete with its built-in reporting and accounting system that can be customized to fit your business. You can manage work orders and even accept them online from your tenants. You can also share work order details with tenants or owners if you wish. With Rentec Direct, you will also fill your vacancies faster than ever with the built-in marketing tools. Just enter the details of your property and Rentec will automatically provide you with a professional online website, as well as syndicate them to popular websites such as Zillow, Trulia, and Apartments.com to get your listing maximum exposure so it's rented fast.
Cleveland, Ohio is widely considered to be one of the top rental markets in the entire United States. This is because here in Cleveland, our housing prices are low and our rental prices and demand are high. At Holton-Wise, we provide the complete turnkey solution for all real estate investors, whether they are local, out of state, or even abroad. As real estate brokers, we will provide you with agent representation to help you buy properties ranging from single-family homes to large apartment complexes. We even have referrals for lenders who can provide investment property loans to investors located in all 50 states, allowing you to capitalize on the use of leverage or other people's money. We have referrals to top-notch title companies so you know that all of your transactions are safe and secure, with every single property being delivered to you with clear title. Once you close on the property, we have an investor-focused insurance brokerage who can handle all your property insurance needs. This insurance brokerage handles auto, home, life, and business policies, but they specialize in working with policies for landlords. We also have full-service property management. We can handle all rental property advertisements, tenant placement, rent collection, evictions, maintenance, landscaping, construction, and repairs. In addition, Holton-Wise also offers digital media and education. One day, when you are ready to sell your investment, Holton-Wise, as the #1 seller of investment properties in the greater Cleveland area, can market your property in a video just like this one to our worldwide base of investors who are looking to capitalize on the high cash flow opportunities in the Cleveland, Ohio market.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our latest content, including video tours and analysis of investment properties that are available for sale, real estate investment education, and our most interesting encounters with tenants from hell. Holton-Wise, real estate investing made easy.